This is your dose of daily market wisdom with Master Trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com.
Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with Master Trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is 2/4/21. This is show number 201. Well, what goes up keeps going up, huh, Nick?
Yeah, the markets are rebounding up nicely today. Again, this looks to be on the back of the sell-off in the short squeeze names. So we talked about that even yesterday as GameStop and AMC and a bunch of other names like KOSS. As they decline, the market seems to go up, and the market's rejoicing the fact that, hey, there's not going to be any financial blowups. These broker-dealers aren't going to go and blow themselves up. The hedge funds are going to be okay. So the market seems to be rejoicing over that. And then earlier today, we had the initial claims report, which was released. It came in at 779,000 new initial claims. That number was a bit better than what we've been seeing recently, and makes a good elixir for an uptick today.
Hey, well, you know that Governor Cuomo there in our old home state, and Murphy, the murderer, Killer Cuomo, Ava Braun Whitmer, they're all just decided that suddenly it's okay to open up their restaurants and open up the businesses in their states that they so brutally subjugated. And probably we'll start seeing the numbers improve in the next couple of weeks, next month or so.
Yeah, well, tomorrow we're going to have the Bureau of Labor Statistics number. That's the government number. So we'll see what comes out of there. Hopefully it's a little bit better, but it is amazing how this was all politically charged. We've been saying it really since February and March of 2020 when this whole thing began. How these guys just keep the economy closed down really is mind-boggling. And they just, they're going to look for a Biden bailout is what I'm calling it, to these blue states. And that's what they're going to look for. But, the damage is done. The exodus is on. People are leaving those places in droves. I'm down here in Florida. I've never seen anything like this where people are just coming into Florida by the minute. I mean, it's just rather remarkable how many tractor trailers are pulling up with people's belongings and their lifetime belongings. They're just getting out of the Northeast.
Hey, Florida, Texas, Tennessee, also South Dakota. People are moving there from Minnesota if they like being in the Midwest, the upper Midwest. South Dakota is not such a bad place. I have a friend who's building a house there now. And Alaska, I don't think people are fleeing tax burdens there, but you have New Hampshire and Wyoming, another state with no income tax. You got 9 of them all together. I did a interview with somebody, and the headline was "Follow the U-Hauls." Wherever you see a trail of U-Hauls going, just follow them. Prosperity will surely emerge as a result. Hey, I'd like to do a little post-mortem of what happened with the short squeeze. What really happened here, Nick? What really happened here? The tail was not wagging the dog. These Reddit guys, I think, were what we would call in the political debate useful idiots.
Well, I understand. We talked about it a little bit several days ago. It was a David versus Goliath type story. But the reality of it is we saw institutions get involved on that move higher. And it's always the institutions that make something go parabolic. And it's never the individual investor. I don't care if a guy has $1 million or $2 million. That's really peanuts in the scheme of things. You really need billions and billions of dollars to really move something like that. Now, in all fairness to the Reddit guys, they had a great idea because there was 140% short position in a stock that was trading around $15, and they exploited that. And it did get things started. But we saw a lot of institutional guys, and you could put on any of the financial news networks. They jumped on board because they were able to calculate how much of a squeeze this would go, because you still know every day what the short position number is. And the institutions smell blood in the water when there's other hedge funds that are about to go under because because of their short position. They know these guys are on borrowed time and will have to cover that position at a loss. So we've seen this all the time. I mean, you could go back and look at when, Bill Ackman didn't go out of business with his Pershing Capital. But one thing I'll never forget, when he was down on J.C. Penney. I mean, there were people stomping on J.C. Penney. I don't mean people, I mean institutions stomping on it to try to make him take a big loss and lose his client base. So it goes on all the time. This is feast or famine. This is sharks in the water. We're in the biggest, people think the stock market is a game. They act like it's a casino, but it's not. This is the world's biggest arena, and it's filled with great white sharks, and it's filled with gladiators. And, again, people will exploit those imbalances every chance they get.
And so really, when you look at it, the lasting impact of this, I think companies are going to be a lot more careful when they start naked shorting one of these companies, even if the company is left for dead, like GameStop, like JCPenney, like AMC, because there's danger there. So they're not going to be able to continue to play the same game. These hedge funds would take these short positions, then they'd hire PR firms to literally bomb the hell out of these companies in the news cycle, and then they drive it down, surprise, surprise, buy it back, and make a tidy profit. I think that game is probably, if it's not over, it's close to being over.
Well, I wouldn't say it's over or at this stage of the game. I just don't think that now they may not, try to take it to zero. So, in the past, they've tried to take these things down till the door's shut. This time around, they may say, all right, let's take our foot off the gas here, and we'll let this thing, play itself out. So you might see some of that. But yeah, they're definitely the naked shorting stuff. That's wrong anyway. So I don't even understand how that even exists. It's not really, it shouldn't be allowed anyway. So it is rather remarkable when we see all of that stuff going on. But, kudos to the people that saw that and were able to get that short squeeze going. Like I said, when the stock was trading at 400 plus, I said, if these guys are smart, they're locking in profits right now. Yeah, because what goes up goes down. Everything goes parabolic. That's parabolic is a signal of the end of moves. It's not the signal of a start of a move.
Yeah. Everything goes parabolic, and eventually the parabolum is going to get to its zenith, and then it's going to come straight down, just like a missile, That's
exactly right. And again, this is not a pattern that forms all the time, but we've been seeing a lot of these type of patterns, over the last month or so. And this was an epic squeeze. I have to say, what I saw in GameStop, AMC, and COS, and a bunch of others was really, really magnificent. It was quite something. But, like all good things, they come to an end, and, you got to pull your chips off the table as part of being a trader. The funny thing is, most people, including myself, I couldn't even borrow that to short anyway. So, and they restricted options trading there and everything else. So, it was something to see, but, it looks like now it's over. GameStop now a $65 stock, and, might be headed back down to sub 20 before you know it.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. The hedge funds are going to be a lot more wary now, especially in the naked shorting, because there's now what you would call the short squeeze vigilantes, right? And they're going to be out there, and they'll trigger it because they know it's easy money. And then the brokerage houses got to be careful too, because their collateral is now at risk, and they have to up their collateral in these short squeezes, and that's a negative. So maybe the whole naked shorting thing is going to kind of fade away at this point, because now there's a risk to it. Before, this was the ultimate riskless trade on Wall Street: short a dog stock and watch it go down more, help it go down where you can, and then take your profits. And maybe not so much anymore when it comes to naked shorting. So in any event, talking about slam downs, precious metals getting slammed today lower.
Yeah, we got a big decline today in all of the precious metals. And over the weekend, we saw the talks of a silver squeeze taking place. And you know what? Maybe it would have or wouldn't. But overall, we've been on the program. I've been saying, gold has to go down, at least gold futures, test that 1700. Here we are at 1790 now. So it is quite something. You have gold miners down today, but this has to take place. This is what's going on. This is the bigger pattern unfolding, backing and filling. We went parabolic. Precious metals did in August and had quite a surge. And now they're backing off, and they're doing a natural retrace to what they should be doing. So, I have no problem seeing a sell off in gold and silver. And, I'm getting eager to buy some of these metals a little bit lower from here.
Me too. And I I think we will leave it at that. Just go to inthemoneystocks.com. Check out Nick's trading record. You want to join up soon because the trading opportunity of the decade, if not a lifetime, is coming at you soon. So you got to be a member to take advantage of it. Take a look at the Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, at Kerry Lutz, and send us your emails. We'll get to them next week. That's a promise. Nick, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
And so concludes another episode of Daily Market Wisdom with Master Trader Nick Santiago. Be sure to go to his website, inthemoneystocks.com. Don't forget the Twitter feeds at ITMS and at Nick Santiago01.